Hello everybody, how are we all? Yes, you have to bear with me. I've got a kitten outside mewing. she wants attention, so there we go. So hello everybody, I've got this here. This is obviously the giveaway die. I'm just going to wait for a few more people to come in and then we can carry on. So I'm going to read. I've got my tablet now. I've decided to set my tablet up so I can see people's comments easier. I don't have to strain so much. So yeah, everyone in the UK seems to be having a wet and windy day like me. Thank you for the new paper. Thank you about the new papers. I'm glad you all like them. Good to see you all. Yeah, cloudy and 47 in Ohio. But you got to see the solar eclipse. Yeah, I was going to ask all of you guys who got to see the solar eclipse and who didn't. So that's good. I'm glad you did. I remember seeing it in London years ago, back in the 90s when we had it. I was working in London. I remember seeing it then. It was quite something to see, I have to say. Who else we've got? Bonnie. Masters are in town this week, so you'll be staying home. Did you have to leave? Cool. Excellent. Nicole in Perth. Hello. Hello, Beth. Hello, Cindy. Hello, Zanya, Nicole, everybody. Yeah, it did, didn't it, Nicole? It looked awesome on the TV. I watched a couple of different ones, but as I remember seeing it in real, for real back in the 90s. So, yeah. Right. Okay. Deb, windy and dry at the moment. Yes, it is, isn't it? Okay, so I had quite a lot of people buy papers and whatever in the last week, so that's good. So I'm going to now do the giveaway. So there were 19 entrants in total. I've written down on a sheet from 1 to 19, and then I've put, depending on how many packs you bought, that's how many entries you got put in. So they're all here, all the numbers are here. So I'm going to whack them in there, and then we're going to shake it up, and we're going to do the draw. So let me pull one out. I don't know which one's which. I can't even see. Pull one out. Number 6. So number 6 is, let me scroll down, find number 6. Number 6 is Pamela Henderson from USA. I forgot to put my little, and the winner is, there we go. And the winner is Pamela Henderson from USA. So well done, Pamela. I shall be sending your die through today. Well, probably not today, probably tomorrow. What day are we on? Tuesday. Yeah, by the end of the week, I will have put your die in the post. I'm hoping I'm not going to have any problems with what they're called, customs. I'm hoping I'm not going to have any problem with them, but I mean, it's flat. It's just a metal die. It's nothing sharp. So hopefully that should be fine. So yeah, so I will be sending that through to you, Pamela. So that just proves I am doing everybody. It is international. So that is Pamela's. In fact, let me get a number. Let me just add a number. Let me just put a little post-it note on here. I should have clipped the number 6 on. Let me just write a number 6 on this. And then I can relate it back to my thing. And then I know it's Pamela's. I put that on there like that so I don't forget it. So I can post that. The next die that we're giving away this week, so from now until we go live next week, is this one. So I have actually just done this, and you will have seen this on the craft haul video I did on Sunday. So this is a In Love Arts. Again, this was a free one that they sent me. So it's the sunflower one with the welcome. It says welcome. Really nice die. I really like this. So this was actually a free gift, so I'm giving it away to you guys as a free gift. So yeah, so if you buy a pack between now and so I'm just clicking off my thingy bobs. Oh no, wrong one. Bear with. A lot of people have people who do these things for them, but I don't. So yeah, so basically, if you buy a pack between now and next live stream, you'll be entered into a draw, a giveaway to win this die. It's open to every single person across the whole entire world, as long as I can post it to you and you've got a postal address, that's fine. Yeah, so however many digital packs you buy, that's how many entrants you get into the giveaway, and this is the die you can win. So that's that. Right, what else did I need to... Oh yes, so for those of you who haven't already seen it, let me just go back. Oh yeah, here we go. So for those of you who haven't already seen it, this is a quick look at the pack. Just for those of you... Oh, hello, I've done it wrong. Bear with. Oh dear, what did I do? Add to stage. There we go. So this is the pack. So if you haven't already seen it, this is the pack for this week. It was a bit touch and go whether it was actually going to go up, if I'm honest, because my printer decided to play up last week. So yeah, so I've managed to print the papers out, but I've had to print them out on my inkjet printer, which does leave lines, but I was very impressed at how well it did manage to print them out. So they're the papers I'm going to be using today, and I'll show you in a minute the card we're going to be doing. But yeah, I've had more printer problems, so sadly I'm struggling a bit. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do for next week's pack, because I don't know what's happening with my printer, my laser printer. So I'm waiting for HP to get back. They should have got back to me already, and they haven't. So there we go. Right, just let that, there we go, play through. There we go. Let me go back to here. There we are. So that is the pack. Cool. Hello, everybody. I'm sorry if I've missed your comment. I'm trying to do 1,000 things at once, and yes, not doing very well. So the card we are going to make today is a similar card to one that I've done before, but I've done a different mechanism on this one, and it looks different, because with the other one, it kind of... yeah, it was different, basically. It was different. So this is the card. Let me just see if I can just move this camera slightly. No, I can't. Okay, not without fiddling with it. Okay, it's fine. This is the card we're going to be doing. So these are obviously the papers, and I've used this die, which I can't remember where it was from. If I can find it again, I will let you know, but I can't remember. And so you open it up, and you've got this kind of floating section. So if I put it sideways, you can sort of, in fact, that way around is probably easier. You can sort of see it. So so it's kind of like the suspended book fold that I did, but I've done it slightly differently. So I've done it so that it actually, it's more into the back. Like it will float forwards, but it's a bit more snug into the card. So that's how I'm doing it. So that's the side profile. So yeah, so that's the card we are doing today. So hopefully that's good. Yes, I've put vellum behind the sentiment. So I just used a bit of, I don't know, you can't really see it that well, but yeah, oh, maybe here you can sort of see it. So I didn't want to block the lovely picture out, but I did need my sentiment to pop a little bit. So I just used like a bit of apricot vellum, kind of this orangey vellum. And then I used, this was actually the white glitter adhesive sheets from Dovecraft. I love those glitter adhesive sheets. They're A5, but they're so good because they die cut so well. If you think how intricate that is, I didn't have any problems cutting that. No problems whatsoever, and they're not that expensive at all. So yeah, so I used that and cut that out, and then literally just stuck it straight down. Don't have to worry about any, self-adhesive tape or anything. And then this 50, I think, was from Coca Rosa. I think that was a Coca Rosa die. So obviously, don't forget to use my code. Hang on, find the banner thing again. Yeah, I think this was a Coca Rosa one. I'm pretty sure the 50 was a Coca Rosa one. I think it was. I'm pretty sure it was. But yeah, and then on the back, you got space to write. So this is an A5, because I've got a lady, Jeanette, if you're watching, you'll be watching the replay probably. This is an A5 version. So I'm going to give you the measurements for an A5 after I've done the 5x7. But today I'm doing a 5x7. Okay, so I'm going to tackle 5x7 and A5 at the same time. So yeah. Right. Yes, I like the way it folds up. It opens up like that, and it kind of pops, but it doesn't fold too much. Like it's not too close and it's not too open. It's just kind of, because if you wanted to, you can kind of open it up a little bit and have it a bit, a bit further out. But when you've got it closed and you just open it up, it just naturally kind of does that, and I do like that. So yeah, so that is what we are going to do today. So I'm going to be using she says, bear with, I'm going to be using dies from In Love Art Shop today. I'm going to be using these, and you'll recognise these. We've used these before. This Just For You, love it, because it's there's a whole load of different sentiments, but I love this die, so I'm going to be using that one. And I'm also going to be using this leaf die, and again, I think this was an In Love Arts, I'm not sure, but I will put it in the description afterwards when I do all the information and everything. I will put it in then. So yeah, I'm also obviously going to use my papers, so they're available over on my Etsy shop. So don't forget to go over to my Etsy shop. And so I'm using all the papers there. This die, I think, was also a Coca Rosa. I think it was. But as I say, I'll put all the information in the description below when I get to it. So bear with. Hello, everybody who's joined already. Right, okay, so let's go through the A5, the 5x7 measurements first, and then I will do the A5 measurements at the end. So to start with, let me grab, thank you. Ah, Jeanette, there you are. So I am doing an A5 version. I've done the measurements. I'm sure it was you who asked me for A5 versions. I've done that one you just saw was A5. I'm doing a 5x7 now, but I will give you the A5 measurements as well. I thought I'd kill two birds with one stone today. No, Nicole, don't go. Stay here. Stay, don't go. Sorry, I don't do yoga, so I'm a bit biased. Right, okay, so what we're going to do is you need one piece of base card that is 7 by 10, and what you want to do is score that halfway at 5 inches. I've also switched the autofocus off on the camera, so let me know. Hopefully it won't keep zooming in and out. Hopefully it'll be better. Yeah, so you want to score that in half at 5 inches. So you're basically making a 5x7 card blank. So if you want to use a pre-done 5x7, you can, but that is basically what I'm making. Okay, so that's that. Then you're also going to need another piece of base card that is, now I'm using one that's 4x8, but if you want to change that size, you can. It's just the bit that goes in the middle. So this is the bit in the middle. So if you want to change it, make it taller, make it slightly wider. You don't want to go too wide, because I don't know if you can see that, but you've got a little bit of a gap there. But you don't want to go too much wider, but you could go taller if you wanted to. You could probably go for a 6x4, so a 6x4 card blank if you wanted to. It's really up to you. Okay, so I've gone for 4x8, so I'm going to score it halfway at 4 inches to make a 4x4 card blank. So that is that. Okay, so that's that. It's very simple so far. Then you also need 2 pieces, and these are your little strut pieces that like hold it on basically. And I've done these. Now you can do whatever height you want. I've gone for, well, I've written down in my book 2x3, but I've actually got 1 3/4 by 3. As long as you keep the 3 inch, I mean, you can go more than 3 inch if you want to, but it'll just pop out more. That's all. So I've gone 3 inch long, and then about 1.5-ish, whatever height. It doesn't really matter with the height, because it's just, you just don't want it so that you can see it. You want it to be hidden. So if you can, I don't know if you can really see that. You can't really see it, but yeah, there you go. So you want the height. You see the height there, but this way round, as long as it's not higher than the actual card, the inside card, it doesn't really matter. So you can change that up. But I've gone for 3 inches wide, and we're just going to score this at 1/2 inch and at 1.5 inches, and we're going to do that on both pieces. So 1/2 inch and 1.5, and that is all the scoring. So we're nice and easy. Okay, so then with these, we're just going to mount and fold both of these score lines. So I'm going to mount and fold that, And mounting fold that. It's absolutely throwing it down with rain here. It really is throwing it down with rain. Okay, so that is those two pieces. So I'm going to put those two to one side. We don't need them yet, and we don't need this yet, so that can stay off to one side. So if we bring our 5x7 in, what we're going to do is we're going to put our mats and layers on. So I have got one piece for the front, got two pieces for the inside, and a mat for the back. Now my mat is white, so because my mat is white, I'm not going to bother with a white piece on top of that. But if you've got a different coloured mat, then you'll need a white that's the same size as your patterns. So in total, you're going to need 4 pieces of mat that are 4 3/4 by 6 3/4, and then you're going to need 3 pieces of pattern that are 4.5 by 6.5, and then 1 piece of white that's 4.5 by 6.5. Or if your mat's already white, then just leave it. You can, you can do what you want with it. You could mat and layer it up if you wanted to, but I haven't bothered. And then I'm just going to go ahead and stick these on. So on the front, these two on the inside like that, and this one is going to go on the back like that. I can talk to you all now. I'm sticking things down, because when I come to edit this, it'll be way easier if I'm not talking when I'm, not being chatty when I need to be giving instructions. So yes. But yeah, if you want to go and do your yoga class, you go and do it. But I just don't do it. I don't do yoga. Jeanette, you went to the gym today in the wind and rain. Yeah. I left the house to go and do school run, and that was about it. I don't think I'll be going out again until it's school run time. Somehow. Has anybody got any nice weather? I know, Vicky, you said you had nice warm weather. I'm jealous. I mean, it's not that cold here, I have to say. It is reasonably warm. I think that's why we're getting the wind, probably. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of the wet, especially now it's wet and windy. It's not the perfect weather, has to be said. Not the perfect weather. So let's stick this down. And I made this one kind of a backgroundy paper, just because then it's going to go, it sort of, frames the pattern, which is going to be at the front. And it's quite sunny but cold where you are. I can't remember where you are, Ali. You're not in the UK, are you? I don't think you're in the UK. And you're funny. You have to go out later. Well, good luck, is all I can say. Good luck. I don't like being blown around. It's when you come back and your hair looks like you've been dragged through a hedge backwards, You're in Bristol. Oh, you've got sunny. Cool. I might come to Bristol. I don't mind it being cold if it's. I'm not that bothered about it being cold. I think I prefer sunny and cold to wet and warm. I think that's. I had a feeling you were in the UK, but I was like, how can you be in the UK? It's because you're not that far from me, really. Oh, I suppose you are. I suppose you're a good 2-3 hours, aren't you? And that can make all the difference. Little side note, if you want to go and stamp your greeting, you need to do it before you stick it down. I'm not, so I think I shall be putting a sentiment on this. Sally, you've got blue skies and wind. Oh, Worcester's not that far at all. You're literally like 3/4 of an hour away from me, an hour away. Oh, can you send some of that blue sky this way, please? Because it's absolutely disgusting here. It really is. Dark, cloudy, bleh. That's what it is here. Oh, not far from the Swindon ladies. Who's not far from the Swindon ladies? Ali, Bristol is Bristol. I thought Bristol was quite far from Swindon. I thought Swindon was. Oh no, I suppose it's not, is it? Because it's down that south side. Yeah, I suppose. Right. Anyway, so there we go. That's the front done. That's the middle done, and there's the back done. Okay. So, right. So then we've got the middle bit. So the middle bit, you only want to decorate these 2 bits. You don't need the outside pieces. So on this, you're going to need 2 pieces of mat. that are, it's that way around, 2 pieces of mat that are 3 3/4 by 3 3/4, and 2 pieces of pattern that are 3.5 by 3.5. So they're going to go on there like that. Nicole, you don't do yoga either, but it would be a great start to the weekend, apart from having to go home in an ambulance from laughing myself in. Yeah, that wouldn't be good, would it, really? That wouldn't be good. That would not be good. So, yeah, we don't want to do that. Ali, it's just up the motorway. It's funny because I'm coming, because when I've gone from Swindon, obviously I've come from here. So it feels like it's in the opposite direction to Bristol, but obviously from Bristol, it's probably not that far. Annette, you're in Germany, sunny and hot. Oh, I'm coming to Germany. Oh, I want to be in Germany right now. I can speak a little bit of German, just a little bit though, not much. I'm doing it on Duolingo. I did do A-level German years and years ago. I've been surprised at how much I've remembered actually, but I could quite happily come to Germany. Right, okay, so there we go. So now we need to stick down the hingy pieces. So what we're going to do, just move that off to one side. So on these, on your little 1/2-inch sections, you want to put some red tape. You can use wet glue if you want, but I'm going to use wet tape. And then red tape, because it's so wet outside. I'm used to saying the wrong thing. I'm going to use red tape. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use wet glue on the larger section that we're going to stick down. I just find it's a little bit easier to do it that way. Right, so red tape on the tab, like that. And then we grab a pin. Where's my pin? Oh, there it is. My tape remover. Okay, now before we do this, let's just do some measurements. Now you don't have to measure if you don't want to, but this is just how I've done it to make sure that I know it's going to stick in the right place. So I've just gone down the center and marked halfway at 3.5 inches. And then, and you're not going to see any of this, it's going to be behind everything. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to come out 1 inch either side. So I'm going to come 1 inch from the center, make a little mark, 1 inch from the center, make a little mark. Now you're not going to see those because you're going to be covering up with hinges. You don't have to do the marking, but I just find it easier because I know these measurements work with these marks. So then we're going to take the backing off of the tab. Take the backing off there. Ooh. I'm going to fold this in half, and then I'm just going to line that edge, the cut edge, up. Obviously, tab's now facing down. Going to line the cut edge up with that mark and make sure that it's that it's straight. So we just obviously having this pattern helps. So it needs to be, that mark needs to be halfway across the tab, and then this, this needs to be parallel with the fold line. So I'm going to stick that down, so you basically end up with that. So this is why I use red tape, because I want it to be stuck straight away. I don't want any kind of moving around. And then we're going to do the same with the other side as well. So I'm going to just turn this way so I can sort of line it up a bit better. So that's like that. I want it to be in line with the one on the other side. So basically like that. So I want these lines to be kind of in line with each other. This needs to be parallel, which I think it is. Yep, I think that's about right. Okay, so you've got 2 little arms. So it's very similar to the book fold that I did previously. Right, let's have a look on the comments. Hubby used to work in Swindon, used to travel up there every day, no problem. Yeah, I used to go there quite well, relatively, not that much, I suppose, but a bit. Quite a few weekends, more than I should have done for my area that I was supposed to be in. Nicole, you had 30 degrees Celsius today in Perth. Oh, wow. Fabulous. Yeah, Nicole, wet tape. I don't think it would take off, do you? I don't think that would go down well somehow. Yes, Anne, please can everyone give a thumbs up? That would be really good. It really helps me out. Right, okay, so now what we're going to do is on this bit here, we're going to use some wet glue. And I'm just going to wet glue that tab. And then what you want to do is take your little card, make sure it's the right way up, fold it shut, and you're going to stick it down. So it's about like, well, you can do it wherever you want really, but I'm doing it about there. So I don't want it too far off this way. You could do it right in there if you wanted to, but I find if you do it sort of roughly where I'm doing it now, then it just means it pops up about right. So it's about, for those of you like measurements, it's about 3/8 from the center line and about 5/8 from the outside line. That's what mine is at the moment. Okay, so that is on there. And then I'm going to put some glue onto this tab here. So we'll do one here, like that. And then what I'm going to do is kind of fold that flat and shut the whole card together, like that. And then I know it folds flat. This is why I do it this way. It's just easier than trying to do it mid-air. Give it a good old press down. And give it a bit of a rub so it all fits. Like that. And then open it up. If you're using wet glue, just make sure you've got any strings sticking it together. And then when you open it up, it should kind of pop up. And if you've done it right, it should be center. Now, one thing I've realized is I've made this, it's too low. I've got a bigger gap at the top than I have at the bottom, but I can't do much about it now. So it is how it is. But that's something to watch out for. Okay, so just learn from my mistake. Make sure you put this card central, top and bottom, and just slightly in. And then you should end up hopefully with that. And obviously, as you can see, that gap, if I just lean it out like that, it's a bit more. But that gap's slightly different to the other one. But yeah, it's still fine. So that is your central bit, and obviously it moves around because it's a floating thing. And then we just need to decorate. So on the front, I have got a whole load of these leaves. So this leaf die, as I said, I can't remember if it was a can't remember if it's an In Love or a Coca Rosa. It's one of the two. I will put it in the description below later. So I've cut some of these out. This card is from, I'm pretty sure this was a rainbow mirror card from Dovecraft. I could be wrong on that, but I think it was. And I didn't want to cover up too much of my lovely background paper. I might trim these down actually. But what I was thinking was about having them, oh gosh, I can't even, having it coming out of there. So I'm going to trim these down because they're a little bit too long. So let me just trim these down. Let me use my other scissors. Oops. Use my other scissors and just trim them down a little bit. There we go. I can use the smaller pieces as well. Thank you. Yeah, I you know me, I can't do a flat card. I've tried, but I just can't do flat cards. So I think, let's have a look. I don't want to lose too much, but also I don't want it to go off the I don't want it to go off the side of my card. So let me just, I think, because I know that's the middle, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a big blob of silicone glue and just start sticking the leaves into it. So I think that's what I'm going to have to do. Just unplug the nozzle of my silicone glue. I've discovered this brand of silicone glue doesn't pull out plug-wise like the pin flare does. So, right, let's just do a line and then start layering them in. If it doesn't completely go in, it's fine. I need a bit more of a line up top there. And I can put little blobs at the back actually, can't I? So let's do that. So I reckon that one's going to go up there. Like that. This one I'm going to have more here because I've got a whole big area here. It's just teal. So I kind of want to just make sure my Just For You is going to cover that bit of stem. Yeah, it should just about. So I'm going to put that there like that. Oh, I should probably put some stuff on the back of it, shouldn't I? Should probably put a bit of glue on the back. There we go. There we are. Like that. And then I want to put this one going down here. So again, I'm going to put a bit of silicone glue on the back of the leaves. And then have that coming down here. Like that. I'm hoping this just for you is big enough to hide. Yeah, it's good. It's big enough to hide everything. And then I think that probably needs to come that way, doesn't it? I'd like it that way, but I think that's not going to look quite right. It's going to have to be there. Okay, let me just trim that down a tiny bit. There we go. Add some more silicone glue. Like that. And then that can go on here. There we go. And this middle one I can really press down. And then my just for you is going to go over the top. So let's add some silicone glue onto that. There we are. And then put that over the top. And again, I've used those adhesive glitter sheets to cut the just for you out. So there we go. So that's the front. Quite like that. Sort of understated, but the just for you, the mirror just for you. I like the fact it just adds a little pop. It's not completely the right colour, but it's close enough. And then these leaves I'll probably use on a different card. And then on the inside, and I've got to be careful I don't we should do that first. Actually, no, I shouldn't have done that first because I've got the inside to do. On the inside, I'm just going to literally do a happy birthday and be done. I'm just a bit concerned I'm going to knock my just for you. So you'll probably recognise this happy birthday. This is from a while ago. I'm pretty sure this is a Coca Rosa. Pretty sure this is a Coca Rosa. Right, I'm just going to open this up and hope for the best. Oh, please don't knock it. Please don't knock it. Oh. It looks wonky at the moment. It's just because of the angle. And I don't want it to be too standing up from the card on this piece because, oh gosh, I need to be careful of that front. I keep putting weight on it. I just want a little bit of height. Not loads. There we go. And then the birthday. There we go. And the birthday will go here. There we are. Let me just quickly check. I've got to be really careful because I've got silicone glue on both sides. I'm just going to hold it for the moment. So there we are. So there's your finished card. And then obviously you've got space on the back to write your message. I don't really want to shut it. So there's your happy birthday. So if you're doing a A5 version, you just bring a little stand in to kind of stand this up with. There we go. Right, so on the A5 version, just for those of you who like a bigger card, my base was 8 1/4 by 11 1/2. And so I scored it halfway at 5 3/4. So basically you're ending up with an A5 card blank, basically. And then your mats and layers. So you need 4 pieces of mat that are 5 1/2 by 8. And then 3 pieces of pattern that are 5 1/4 by 7 3/4, and 1 piece of white for the back that's 5 1/4 by 7 3/4. Your middle piece of base is 4 1/2 by 8, and you're scoring halfway at 8. Again, if you want to make it more than 4 1/2, you can. And then my little standy uppy pieces and that are keeping this upright are the same again. So the 2 by 3, and the score lines are the same. So the score lines are 1/2 inch and 1 1/2 inch on the long side. Your mats for this bit here are 3 3/4 by 4 1/4, and your patterns are 3.5 by 4. So obviously you need 2 of both. So that is all of your A5 measurements. I might do a 6 by 6, possibly. We'll see. Right, let me have a quick look at the comments. Anne, you love it. Fabulous. Thank you very much. Sherry, the name of this paper pack is called Apricot Garden. So if you look in Etsy, it will be there. Apricot Garden is what it's called. Yep. Thank you, everybody. Love it, love it. Yes. So yeah, I thought I'd go a bit different with the papers. I thought I'd go a bit and you can see the lines from where the printers printed it out. But I have to say, I was pep talking my printer the whole time it was printing. I was like, "You're doing a very good job. Thank you so much. Please keep going." Because it doesn't get used very much, that printer. So you know how printers can be a bit funny. But yeah, so there you go. So that is your card for the day, for today. So it's only been half an hour, hasn't it? Goodness me, that was a quick old live stream. It was me thinking it was going to take longer than that. I think it's because I stuck all my patterns and mats down before I came on. That helped. But yeah, so there you go. So there's your two cards. I would think if you do a 6 by 6, I think I'd probably keep my little tabby pieces the same size, 2 by 3, and then off the top of my head, I would probably do similar. So I think for a 6 by 6, I mean, I haven't made this, so don't quote me on this. I will try and make one, but just off the top of my head, I think I'd use a 6 by 6 card blank, so a 6 by 12 piece that's folded in half at 6 inches. This bit I would probably keep as a 4 by 8, to be honest with you, and do it in half. I think it would work fine. Because if you think that's 5 inches, you're only going out an inch, so I think it would work. So I think I'd probably keep that middle bit as a 4 by 8, and again score it in the middle at 4 inches, and then keep the struts the same. So I think I'd literally do exactly the same measurements as this. The only thing that would change would be this outside base for 6 by 6. So yeah, I think that's what I would do. Bonnie, you're trying to save up for an eco tank printer. Yeah, I've seen smart printers, and I'm going to have a look at those and see. I need to wait and see what HB say, what they come back to me and say. I'm hoping that they will follow through on their promise and give me a different model of printer, but we will see. Yeah, so thank you, everybody. I will see you all next week. And yeah, thank you. People are buying things already on Etsy. Thank you very much. I will put you in the draw. I have a little list. So when you buy, you have a number, and then we do a draw next week. So yeah, so that is the card for today. So don't forget to like and subscribe and everything. Hit the notification bell so you never miss a video. Leave a comment down. If you're watching the replay, then please leave a comment. You know, I read them all. I try and reply to all of them, really, pretty much. Yeah, pretty much reply to everybody's comment. But yeah, so yeah, I'll see you all next week, everybody. Have a great week. Sorry it's a short live. I don't know why it was a short live, just ended up being that way. So yeah, but yeah, I'll see you all next week. Bye everyone, have a good week.